My friends, what you're about to see is not just another crisis in the Middle East. It's the moment when the internet, as you know it, could simply go dark. The Strait of Hormuz has just become the central hub of a war that no one is covering. While all the cameras in the world are pointed at the surface, watching speedboats and F-18 fighters piercing rudders with 20mm cannons, the real danger is crawling at the bottom of the ocean. Imagine a traffic jam of 1,000 oil tankers. They're standing still, floating above 20% of all the world's oil transported by sea. But Iran realized something that the West tried to ignore. Oil is just the shell. The core, the prime cut of strategic leverage, are the 7 submarine fiber optic cables that rest on the bed of the Strait of Hormuz. These cables connect Asia, Europe, and all the Gulf states. Tehran looks at these glass wires the way a kidnapper looks at the neck of a billionaire hostage. The phrase circulating among the Revolutionary Guard command is straightforward. These cables are our new nuclear weapon. And today, I'm going to show you why these cables are the real Achilles heel of the West. I'll show you how. Iran plans to use divers and mini submarines to hijack the digital economy. And if you think your money is safe in the bank, pay close attention. What's at stake isn't just the price of gas, it's the intelligence behind every financial transaction you make. The board didn't turn, my friends. It's been submerged. Now subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and like the video because it takes a lot of work to make. Pay attention to this scale. $10 trillion. That's right, 10 trillion. According to the Tasnim news agency, the propaganda arm of the Revolutionary Guard. That's the amount that flows through those cables every day. Giants like Google, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon depend on that signal to keep the world turning. If that glass straw breaks, the digital world collapses in milliseconds. Iran doesn't just want your fuel, it wants your signal, your Wi-Fi, your instant payments, and your bank account. Iran's military spokesperson, Brigadier General Ibrahim Zolfagari, went on X and issued the ultimatum that put the Pentagon on red alert. We are going to impose taxes on internet cables now. It's not just a post, it's a change in operational doctrine. Iran has stopped trying to just close the sea. Now they want to charge a toll on your data. It's Tehran's mafia taking your data hostage, demonstrating the global financial flow. Pay the bill or your network goes dark. Iran knows that the West can survive an oil shock, but it can't survive a financial blackout. They have a gun pressed to the temple of the world economy. For the commanders of the Revolutionary Guard, these cables are Iran's new nuclear weapon. They threaten direct or indirect harm to any company that doesn't pay the extortion. The mafia toll has begun, and the price is your digital freedom. Have you ever imagined that your WhatsApp could be taken down over there in the Strait of Hormuz? But the predator in this war isn't a giant nuclear submarine, it's a silent dagger called the Gator class. At just 29 meters long and only 2.75 meters wide, it's small enough to disappear into the mud at the bottom of the sea. It displaces only 117 tons on the surface and 125 tons when submerged. It's operated by a crew of just 7 people. And the design? Well, it came straight from North Korea, inspired by the Yono class. And the Strait of Hormuz has depths that range between 30 to 60 meters. For an American submarine worth billions of dollars, that's a shallow and dangerous bathtub. For the Gadir, it changes everything. It's the perfect habitat. It carries 533mm tubes and the Valfar torpedo, which can travel inside an air bubble, the so-called supercavitation, making evasion impossible at short distances. It also fires the JAS-2 missile with a range of 185 kilometers. But the real danger isn't the torpedo, it's what it carries. Sabotage specialists who bring cutting equipment that fits in a diving backpack. Rear Admiral Hossein Kanzadi compared this mini-submarine to the U-boats of World War II, and the British commander Ryan Ramsey was categorical. Although small, they have enough torpedoes to sink large ships. Iran lost about a dozen of these subs in 2026, but there are still 10 operational units left. 10 units. Are they desperate? Isn't a cornered animal the one that bites the hardest? But while these submarines are lurking to take down the global internet, Donald Trump has just posted on social media, and the tone has shifted from diplomacy to countdown. He revealed that he was contacted by the Emir of Qatar, the Prince of Saudi Arabia, and the President of the United Arab Emirates. And was the request desperate? Hold off on the attack planned for tomorrow. Yes, my friends. The United States was ready to bomb Iranian naval bases, and Trump gave a 30-day window to negotiate a 14-point memorandum of understanding, which includes nuclear limits and sanctions relief. But pay attention to the irony. The central point that Iran refuses to discuss is the nuclear program. While they use the undersea cables as their new nuclear blackmail weapon, Trump made it clear American forces are locked and loaded. In other words, they're locked and loaded. This is not a metaphor, it's an operational reality. If the talks fail, the attack won't be just against speedboats. It will be against the underground silos, where Iran hides its drones and mini-submarines. The chance of Iran negotiating seriously is 1 in a million. They are using Qatar's mediation just to buy time and position their divers, the sniff test. Iran's intentions didn't pass the sniff test, did they? They are trying to sell an agreement while getting ready to cut the cables, but the United States has a response, and it's technological. The first layer is the P-8 Poseidon, a modified Boeing 737 that serves as a flying submarine hunting lab. It drops sonobuoys and uses magnetic sensors to detect the metal of the Ghadir submarine even under the mud. The second layer is the MH-60R and CC Hawk helicopters. Armed with the Mark 54 torpedo, the worst nightmare of any submarine. But the secret lies in the next generation, the Lamprey from Lockheed Martin. Imagine an autonomous underwater vehicle that doesn't have a propeller. It uses smooth vectored propulsion, which makes it virtually silent and impossible to be detected by passive sonars. The Lamprey latches onto enemy submarines like a leech and tracks them to their secret base. And we have the DARPA Manta Ray, a gigantic submarine for long-duration intelligence and surveillance. The targeting cycle is relentless. The Lamprey detects, passes the position to the F-35, which coordinates the attack with the F-15E, carrying the monstrous 2,268-kilogram bunker busters. These bombs are made to go through dozens of meters of rock before exploding. The United States is creating a metal network that makes the ocean floor transparent. Ghadir can hide, but it can't escape the network, and while the strait is boiling, the world is on fire behind the scenes. And here's the detail the media doesn't tell you. 2 Chinese agents were captured in France trying to intercept the Starlink network. In Norway, another Chinese was arrested for stealing satellite data. Beijing is acting as a peacemaker. In Iran, while behind the scenes it's trying to steal NATO's digital locks, this Chinese hypocrisy is what keeps the system on alert. The NSA reported that hackers linked to China have been infecting routers and home cameras to access military networks since 2021. They're inside American homes to get to the Pentagon. And in Taiwan, an F-16 fighter jet crashed in Howling due to extreme operational demands. The fleet is exhausted. And at the same time, Chinese drones test Taiwan's defenses every day, but facing technical failures in their own swarms, the pressure is all out and coordinated. The final strategic analysis is simple. Iran is a mafia that needs revenue. They need $500 million a day, which are now blocked by the United States. Those millions directly fund the Revolutionary Guard chief's war efforts. If American technology neutralizes the submarine threat and the naval blockade continues, the regime will implode from within sooner or later. Internet cable extortion is the last gasp of a system that knows its time is running out, because the Strait of Hormuz is an international waterway. It's only 34 kilometers wide, and Iran controls 21 kilometers from its coast. Imposing a digital toll in international waters is modern piracy the world must reject. The Iranian narrative of sovereignty is just a mask for economic desperation. They're cornered and their scissors are dull. But I want to hear from you. Is the board set and is the steel net being cast? Do you think Iran will have the courage to cut the 10 trillion cables? Or will Trump's ultimatum be the end of this story? Leave your comment here with the word cable or blockade. And if you think Donald Trump's last-minute canceled attack was a strategic retreat or just chickening out, comment here. I read every comment to adjust our next intelligence analyses. What we're discussing here is the anatomy of a war that no one is seeing. And to continue this topic even more deeply with data that we can't share here due to time and even censorship since we're on rented ground, I want to invite you to our intelligence bunker. Yes, my friends. We are more than 3,000 analysts funding the truth here for you. So the link is in the description, in the first pinned comment, and in the QR code that appears on your screen. Come to our home for in-depth analysis. And if you value real intelligence, we created a channel for series and movies without virtue signaling, without whining, with a curation of the best series and the best movies for you to enjoy with your family. Link is in the description, first pinned comment, and in the card shown here. Vai aparecer no seu vídeo. Now, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, leave a like on the video, and share it. My friends, it's time to shield your mind. I'm Shimon Oliveira. See you in the next video.